It was the first time Australians took part as Australians. The Anzac spirit defines being Australian. Our national identity was still being carved as our soldiers experienced war, the notions of endurance, courage, mateship, even larrikinism, helping define our boys at Gallipoli. But rain, hail or shine, if there's one thing you can bank on the Sunshine Coast, it's that Australia Day will always be a ripper. Happy Australia Day! The driver and the passenger of the four-wheel drive haven't sustained any major injuries. Obviously, they are still very much in shock and are helping police with their inquiries. Paul, the last thing police wanted to do days out from Christmas is add another number to the road toll. They say it's a reminder for all motorists to be vigilant. Earlier today, dangerous conditions forced the surf boat competition from Kurrawa Beach to Coomera. If the worst is confirmed, it will be a tragedy that echoes the death of Sydney Ironman Saxon Bird on the same beach at the same event under the same circumstances 2 years ago. Paul? But a sign of how this story has gripped the nation, the Daniel Morcombe Foundation website crashed last night.
The danielmorcombe.com.au website was receiving 100 times more bandwidth than the rest of the server combined.
7 years and 9 months after Daniel vanished, yesterday it was official. The 13-year-old was dead.
I think for all of us in the police department it's enormously significant.
In some areas, the water depth is so difficult to judge, letterboxes and street signs are the only indication. At 10:30 this morning, the water at East Street resident Neville Zacharison's house was 6 inches from the floorboards. By this time tomorrow, he expects it to be well inside his house. It's a very eerie feeling here along Gladstone Road, Rockhampton's main traffic corridor. Since the weekend it's been closed, some businesses along the stretch are underwater, others are awaiting their fate, but most of them have simply been abandoned. He was the surgeon known as Dr. Death, a man who would tarnish the reputation of the Bundaberg Hospital, cause scandal for Queensland Health and leave patients dead, scarred or seriously injured.
He's guilty and now let's hope that he has plenty of time in the lockup to relive what he's done to all of our lives.
While the former patients are overjoyed with the jury's verdict, they're now focused on finding out how Patel was ever allowed to work in the Bundaberg Hospital in the first place. Even at 9 o'clock at night, the Nicklin Way was at a standstill from Mooloolaba right through to Boccarina.
Just not stopping at the moment.
On a day like today, with a severe weather warning in place for dangerous rainfall and flash flooding, it seems only appropriate to recognise the vital role the SES plays in our community. So for those seeking shelter, there is some good news. Extended trading hours will kick in at shopping centres across the region this week. And with all these cute faces begging for new homes, the hardest part once you decide to adopt is narrowing it down to just one. Paul, the party here in Noosa is only just beginning, and while the big race isn't until Sunday morning off the track, there really is something for everyone. And a Rockhampton man has escaped jail time after a glassing attack in May last year that left his victim needing 40 stitches. Join us for the best hour of news in the country.